In this video, I'll be proving quadratic reciprocity law. And the statement of the quadratic reciprocity law says that if P and Q are distinct odd prime, then Legendre symbol P by Q multiplied by Q by P is equal to minus 1 to the power P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2. So now before I prove the quadratic reciprocity law, I'm first going to state some of the very basic corollaries that are coming up from this quadratic reciprocity law. So the first corollary defined it as, if P and Q are distinct odd primes, then the Legendre symbol product is either plus 1 or minus 1 if P is congruent to 1 modulo 4 or Q is congruent to 1 modulo 4. And if P and Q both are congruent to 3 modulo 4, that means if P and Q both are 4k plus 3 form, then this value is minus 1. And we have corollary 2, which is again the consequence of quadratic reciprocity law also, and also directly from corollary 1 we can see that this P by Q is Q by P. So this quantity we can actually take it on the opposite side. This is value is 1. So we can simply say that P by Q is equal to Q by P if P is congruent to 1 modulo 4 or Q is congruent to 1 modulo 4, minus Q by P if P is congruent to Q is congruent to 3 modulo 4. So here it is the AND condition. I assume that at this moment the quadratic reciprocity law holds, and assuming this, I am first proving the corollary. Now for the proof of corollary 1, we can see that as P and Q both are odd, so P is also odd and Q is also odd. So this means P minus 1 is even and Q minus 1 is also even. So now by quadratic reciprocity law, because I am now using it to prove this corollary, we can have P by Q multiplied by Q by P. This Legendre symbol gives us the product minus 1 to the power P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2. Now let us take the forms. If P is of the form 4k plus 1, so I am just assuming one of the prime that is of the form 4k plus 1. This will give me minus 1 to the power. Substitute this value P is equal to 4k plus 1 in this power. So this will give me 4k minus 1 plus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2. So that quantity is actually minus 1 to the power 2k into Q minus 1 by 2. So but then 2 is multiplied by this whole power. So that means the power is twice of something. So this quantity is going to give me the positive 1. So taking P is equal to 4k plus 1, I am getting a positive 1. Similarly, if I repeat this process for Q, so I will take now the process for Q minus 1 to the power P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2. And now assuming that Q is of the form 4k plus 1, in this case also it is minus 1 P minus 1 by 2 into this quantity will become 2k. So this whole quantity, that means again in the power there are some terms into k multiplied by 2. So this value is still even. So this would be again plus 1. So the first corollary is clear that multiplying P by Q, Q by P, this is always 1 if either P is congruent to 1 modulo 4 or Q is congruent to 1 modulo 4. And now in the similar way, this is minus 1 if P and Q is congruent to 3 modulo 4. As P and Q, when they both are of the form 4k plus 3, so this is of the form 4k plus 3 and Q is also of the form 4k plus 3. When they both are taking this form, in this case the Legendre symbol P by Q multiplied by Q by P, this by quadratic reciprocity law is P minus 1 by 2 into Q minus 1 by 2. Now substituting the value of P and Q, I get minus 1 to the power 2k plus 1 and 2k plus 1. So these both are odd. Odd multiplied by odd will give me an odd quantity. So this means minus 1 to the power odd, and hence this will give us minus 1. So this condition says that whenever either P is congruent to 1 or Q is congruent to 1, any one of them will hold. So I am going to get a plus 1. If both are congruent to 3 modulo 4, then I am going to get minus 1. So these exhaust all the possibility for P and Q. And now we can see for the corollary 2. To prove corollary 2, that is P by Q Legendre symbol is equal to Q by P if P is congruent to 1 modulo 4 or Q is congruent to 1 modulo 4. This is minus Q by P if P is congruent to Q is congruent to 3 modulo 4. And from corollary 1, we can see that P by Q multiplied by Q by P, both in Legendre symbol, is 1 or minus 1 if this holds. So we just have proved. Now considering that these two cases, P is congruent to 1 modulo 4 or q is congruent to 1 modulo 4. In this case, we have taken that p by q multiplied by q by p, this value is equal to 1. So that's what is given here. Multiply by both sides by the Legendre symbol q by p. So this will become q by p whole square, and on the right hand side this will become q by p. And we notice that this value is 1 because it is square. So if this value was initially q by p is minus 1, and then we are again multiplying with the same Legendre symbol, so it will give me always plus 1. So p by q is equal to q by p. That will hold the first condition. Whenever p is congruent to 1 modulo 4, q is congruent to 1 modulo 4, p by q is same as q by p. Look at the other case now. For the other case, when p and q are congruent to 3 modulo 4, in this case p by q times q by p is equal to minus 1. So again multiply both sides by q by p by q, q by p will become whole square, and on this side we will have minus q by p. Again this value is 1 because whatever be the value of this Legendre symbol q by p, whether it is plus 1 or minus 1, we are taking square, so this will always be plus 1, and in this side it is minus 1. So this will hold. P by q is minus of q by p if p is congruent to q congruent to 3 modulo 4. So now to prove quadratic reciprocity law, which is this, p by q multiplied by q by p is minus 1 to the power p minus 1 by 2 into q minus 1 by 2, where p and q are both distinct odd prime. I would be requiring this lemma. This lemma I have proved in the last video, and this says that if p is an odd prime and a is also an odd integer and the GCD of a and p is equal to 1, then a by p is equal to this. Now suppose a is p, so this value is p by q, and I apply this lemma, so this value is minus 1 to the power summation, because in the denominator here it is p, so this p go here it is q, so this means k p by q. This quantity will come here inside the greatest integer function, and k moves from 1 to q minus 1 by 2 because of the denominator. And similarly, if I want to write what is q by p, this will be minus 1 to the power summation kq by p, depending upon what is in the denominator. So here it is p, so this p will come here, and k varies from 1 to p minus 1 by 2. Now this is same as, because the base is same, so I am going to add the powers. So this is k p by q plus summation k q by p. Of course here k varies from 1 to q minus 1 by 2, and here k varies from 1 to p minus 1 by 2. And if I can show that this quantity is p minus 1 by 2 times q minus 1 by 2, I am done with the result. So with the help of this lemma, we can immediately prove the quadratic reciprocity law. So what remains to prove is that this expression, the value that is here in the power and the value that is here in the power, they both are same. Remaining to prove is now here is only that if I can show that p minus 1 by 2 times q minus 1 by 2, this is equal to summation of k p by q, greatest integer, plus summation of k q by p, the greatest integer. Here it varies from 1 to q minus 1 by 2, and here it varies from 1 to p minus 1 by 2. So now I wish to prove this, and to prove this I need to count the value what is appearing on the left hand side and here what appears on the right hand side in two different ways. And then I'll show that both the values that is coming up from a counting, they both are same, and that proves our quadratic reciprocity law. Consider the lattice points or the integral point in xy plane which is bounded by this one. So I'm going to get a rectangle which is bounded by the point 0, 0, and then we have p by 2 comma 0, p by 2 comma q by 2, and here we have this as 0 comma q by 2. In particular, say if you take p is equal to 7 and q is equal to 11, this value is 3.5 comma 0. And the next value is q by 2, that is 5.5. So this is 0 comma 5.5. And not on the boundaries. So I'm going to count now the number of lattice point in the rectangle R. So this is the rectangle R. How many points do we have here in this rectangle? We can see this. As p is an odd prime, so the nearest integral value is p minus 1 by 2, because in that case p minus 1 will become even. So 3 is the nearest integral value, and similarly here q minus 1 by 2 will become the integral point. So 3 point here, that is p minus 1 by 2 points here in this side, okay, and q minus 1 by 2 point on this side, that is q minus 1 by 2 on this side. Now count these p minus 1 by 2 on the horizontal and q minus 1 by 2 in the vertical side, the total number of points that we get is p minus 1 by 2 into q minus 1 by 2. For example, if I take p is equal to 7 and q is equal to 11, so I get 7 minus 1 by 2, 11 minus 2 by 2, that is 15 points. So 15 red dots that I have drawn here, these are the integral point. So this is one way of counting the lattice point in the region R. Now in the second way, I am going to divide this region into two parts, and I am again going to count the latest number of points, and then I am going to compare these two. They will be actually same. In second way, in that rectangle R, join the point 0 0, this point 0 0, and the point p by 2 comma q by 2. So this point is actually p by 2 comma q by 2. Here the point was 0 comma q by 2. Here this point was p by 2 comma 0. So we want to join this point, the one that is diagonal line. And how do we find the equation of this diagonal line? This is y minus y2 upon y2 minus y1 equal to x minus x2 upon x2 minus x1. Substitute these value. We have y minus y2 is q by 2. So this is q by 2. y2 is q by 2 minus y1. y1 is 0 here at the origin. X minus x2. x2 is p by 2. So x2 minus x1, x1 is 0. So we want to find what is the equation of the line and the diagonal. Y minus q by 2 whole multiply by p by 2. Just cross multiply these two terms. Q by 2 into x minus p by 2. So this gives us that p by 2 times y is equal to q by 2 times x, and hence we get py equal to qx. So that is the diagonal line. So this is the diagonal line, that py is equal to qx. Now I want to divide from this diagonal line. I want to ensure that there is no point that lie on the diagonal. You might be noticing that there is a point that looks like that it's appearing on the diagonal, but it's not appearing on the diagonal. It's near to diagonal, but it's not touching to the diagonal. As we can see here, this is not touching to the diagonal. None of the lattice point lie on the diagonal line py equal to qx, as if it touch or lie on the diagonal line. If there are some lattice point that lie on the diagonal line, that means they are going to satisfy this diagonal line py equal to qx. And if it satisfy, this means that there exists some y naught, or there might exist some x naught which satisfy this line. So either this hold or this hold, but this is not true, because the GCD of p and q is also 1, they are distinct prime, and also GCD of p and x is also 1, because x is a value that varies from 1 to p minus 1 by 2. This is the value for x in which we are varying. And similarly here also, the GCD of q and p is 1, and the GCD of q and y is also 1, because y varies from 1 to q minus 1 by 2. So this ensures that there is no point on the diagonal. The point lie either below the diagonal or above the diagonal. Let's write down the region which is above the line as T1 region, and let's write down the region which lie below the diagonal line, that is as T2. Now I want to know how many points lie in the region T1 and T2. If I sum the point that lie in the region T1 and T2, this will be equal to p minus 1 by 2 into q minus 1 by 2, that as we have calculated in way 1. So the latest point lie in the region R were 15 point, and we have seen these 15 point were corresponding to when we have considered p as 7 and q as 11. And now I wanted to count how many points lie in the region T2 and how many points lie in the region T1. And in this case, T2 region is the region below the diagonal line. So when I take below the diagonal line, so let's vary in this case x. Note x lies between 1 to 3. This value was p minus 1 by 2. And from the line of this diagonal, we have already seen what is the line of the diagonal, that is py into qx. From here you can calculate the value for y in terms of x, because if x is varying, we can find the value for y. So y varies 1 to qx by p, and let's keep on varying the value for x, and we can find the value for y. Suppose if x is equal to 1, what is the value for y? Y will become 1 less than or equal to q into 1 by p, and in this case q we are considering as 11 and p we are considering in the example as 7. So this value would be 11 by 7, and we want to count the lattice point. So x is already a lattice point, but to have y as a lattice, I need to take a greatest integer function. In this case this value is 1. So that will be the point that is appearing here, 1 1. So when x is 1, y is 1, Let's take one more value. When x is 2, y will vary less than or equal to, from here, now x takes the value 2, so it is q times 2 multiplied by p, or q is 11 multiplied by 2, p I have considered as 7. So this is 22 by 7. This is equal to 3, and this means y can take the value between 1 to 3, and these are integral points. So there are 3 integral points, and so in this case, when x is fixed, x is 2, y can take 1, 2, 3. So these are the 3 points, and in the similar way, when x is 3, y can take the value which is less than or equal to 11 into 3 by 7. That ensures that y can take the maximum value as 4. So there are 4 integral points, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we can write down the lattice point as mentioned here in the T2 region, and we get the total number of lattice point in T2 is A. And so for the fixed value of x, it depends on the count on y. So when 1, 3, 4, this will make the count as 8. So I'm going to count now the points in T2 region. I'm going to use this formula as greatest integer of qx by p. This comes from the value of y, upper bound of y, and x varies from 1 to p minus 1 by 2. Or I may now write down this as k varying from 1 to p minus 1 by 2 qk by p. So this is the number of the point in the region T2. In the similar way, count the point in the T1 region, that is above the diagonal line. And in this case, because it is above the diagonal line, so what is varying? At here, we can say that y is quite a fixed quantity, and accordingly x depends upon this line, which is the diagonal line. So let's keep y varying between 1 to q minus 1 by 2, and because of the line that is py is equal to qx, x now varies between less than or equal to py by q. So from here, take the q in the denominator. And again, in case of the example, so suppose p was 7 and q is 11. If y varies between 1 and 5, x can vary between the greatest integer of this quantity, py by q. Okay. Say for example, y is equal to 1. If y is equal to 1, we can see here, in this case, 1 less than x less than or equal to 1. P is 7, q is 11 and y is 1. Now we can see the numerator is smaller than denominator. So this value is 0. 1 less than x less than or equal to 0, it has no meaning. So there is no point now in this case. When y is 1, you can see there is no lattice point here in this position. When y is equal to 2, this value will become 7 into 2 by 11. So that is 14 by 11, and we got one lattice point, that is 1, 2. Similarly, generalize this formula. So we can see how many lattice points exist in the region T1. This is equal to summation q p k. So now I am replacing this y by a general value as k varying from 1 to q minus 1 by 2, and that is the number of lattice points. And suppose if I now want to understand from the example, this value was k varying from 1 to p is 7, k will remain k, and q is 11. So we can open this quantity. It is 7 by 11, greatest integer, plus 2 times 7 by 11, plus 3 times 7 by 11, plus 4 times 7 by 11, and plus 5 times 7 by 11. So this value is 7. So the total number of lattice point in R, in the first way we have seen as this is p minus 1 by 2 into q minus 1 by 2. And in the way 2, we have divided the region R into two portions, above the diagonal line and below the diagonal line. Above the diagonal line and below the diagonal line. When I have above the diagonal line, I have just calculated here. So this value is summation k goes from 1 to q minus 1 by 2 pk by q, and T2, this value is summation k goes from 1 to p minus 1 by 2, and in this case I will replace this q and p. Okay, remaining is same. We have seen that we have calculated 8 points in the T2 region, and in T1 region there were 7 points. So the total T1 and T2 got the 15 points as we have got from the way 1. So the summation of these is equal to this quantity. Now to prove quadratic reciprocity law, I am just going to rewrite the above steps that I have done with the example. So I am considering a lattice point rectangle x, y bounded by the point 0, 0, p by 2, 0, 0, q by 2. So this means consider a rectangle here, that is R. In this rectangle, because x and y are varying into this, so the total number of lattice points are here. So this is the one way that we have counted. And to count in the other way, we started checking the points whether they lie on the diagonal or not, but they do not lie on the diagonal, as the primes that we are using, they are distinct prime. So whenever in the region T1, so we have now converted this into the diagonal, and in that case we consider that this is first. Once y is varying, so if we take y is varying, the x varies as per this equation of the line. Line is py equal to qx. So x can vary between 1 to py comma q. So to count the number of lattice points, once we fix the value for y, we see how many x are varying now. And the total number of count on these points are this one. Similarly, in the second region, that is T2, x varies between 1 to p minus 1, because x can take the value up till p minus 1, and accordingly we will see how much is the value for y. So y can be calculated again from this bound, and the total number of lattice points are this one. So we have counted now the total number of lattice points in the equation number 1, and the sum of the lattice point, that is T1 plus T2. So this means sum of 2 and 3. So this is 2 plus 3. Okay. Now 2 plus 3 sum and the 1, they both are same, because we are counting the same number of lattice point in this region. And hence by lemma, we can immediately get this was the due to the lemma that we have already explained before the quadratic reciprocity law. And this is equal to minus 1 to the power p minus 1 by 2 into q minus 1 by 2. That ensured that quadratic reciprocity law hold.